little bit. If we can. Hello, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key and we are live for a little bit of championship action on Monday Night Football. We're going to be watching a bit of Sheffield United against Middlesbrough at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United, I think they're 9 points. Are they 9 points off the playoffs? 9 points off the playoffs, 7 points off the bottom three. It's kind of one of these... Feels like a crossroads moment in the season for the Blades this season, this one, because and I'm sure, listen, everyone thought Sheffield United would be a side that would be up there this season. They lost in the playoff final to Sunderland. I think everyone expected, I know it didn't quite work out under Ruben Selles, but I think most expected they would be there or thereabouts again this season. It hasn't quite happened for them. They are currently well down the league, and they're really struggling. But a win tonight against a side like Borough, who are absolutely flying. They are first in the league for possession won. First in the league for carrying the ball. First in the league... oh, no, that's Hayden Hackney. Sorry. I was looking and thinking that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Hayden Hackney is first in the league for possession won and carry distance, which says an awful lot at maybe he is Premier League level. But yeah, Middlesbrough against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. It's going to be a really interesting one, this. Sheffield United, I think, have to win here. I think they have to... If they've got any ambitions of promotion, that is. You know, Chris Wilder's come in. They've had a decent... I think is it back-to-back wins? I did have all this information in front of me, but we're back-to-back wins, I think, for Sheffield United coming into this one. Might be 3 unbeaten. I think it might be 2 wins and a draw. Whereas Borough are 5 wins on the spin. And it just shows you how... Or is it 6 wins on the spin? Just shows you how quickly these things can... snowball, and you can get some momentum, and they have flown up the table. They've absolutely flown up the table. But yeah, head-to-heads, Sheffield United are... I mean, yes, there you go. So Sheffield United have 2 wins and a draw. It's exactly as I said. 2 wins and a draw in the last 3, but the 3 before that, they lost. So 3 defeats in the last 6 for Sheffield United. They lost against Charlton, they lost against Southampton, they won against Ipswich, was really impressive. Drew away at Millwall, really impressive one, and then beat Oxford last time out at Bramall Lane. Now they've got to host Middlesbrough. Now Middlesbrough, to be fair, Middlesbrough away from home have lost 3 out of their last 5. So if we're just talking about home form versus away form, Borough's away form ain't that impressive. They beat West Brom with a last-minute winner. We watched that on this channel. Middlesbrough, last-minute winner against West Brom at the Hawthorns. They won that one, and they also won away at Stoke, which was that's a difficult place to go at the minute, Stoke. But yeah, they before that, they lost 3 on the bounce away from home. So Borough, it's anyone's guess. You could flip a coin on this one. You could flip a coin. So we will be talking through the game. We'll be talking through the lineups. In fact, let's do the lineups. The lineups are over here if you're watching on Twitch or you're watching on YouTube or wherever. Let's do the lineups and then we'll come to the chats. I want to have a look at the chats on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitch and everywhere else. I can see all the comments flying in. Thank you, everyone. Sheffield United, I've got Cooper in goal, Sariki, Tanganga, Bindon, Burrows, Arblaster and Peck in midfield, and then it's Brooks, O'Hare, Hamer and Bamford. Difficult that for Borough. And then for Borough, it is Bryn in goal, Target, Malander, Britton and Ayling. Callum Britton shifting into centre-back. And then it's Hackney, McGree and Brown in midfield. And then a front 3 of Whittaker, Conway and Morris. Aidan Morris, the American, comes in on the right-hand side. But yeah, Ayling and Britton on that right-hand side. Callum Britton's been really good as a right-back. I'm surprised by that. Maybe I've got it wrong. Is there any Borough fans in the chat who can let me know just how often has Callum Britton played at centre-back this season? I know he can play there, but surely he's been brilliant bombing forward, hasn't he, down that right-hand side? I thought he was great from right-back against Hull earlier this season as well. We watched him in that one. So, I don't know. I just feel like Callum Britton's maybe best at right-back. Right, sorry, let's come to the chats. I can see the chats coming in across all the platforms, so let's have a look at everyone who's in. Let's give some shout outs. How are we all doing? Where are we? CJ Talks Football. Terrible Liverpool last night. Why? Why did you think we were terrible? I didn't think we were terrible. I didn't think we were terrible at all. Again, a lot of people can't really distinguish between a bad result or a disappointing result and a disappointing performance. A disappointing result doesn't necessarily mean a disappointing performance. Where are we up to? Sorry, United fan 819 score. The score here is still 0-0 because it hasn't kicked off yet. It kicks off at 8 o'clock. 10 minutes. It's on Sky Sports if you want to watch along. Is Bindon on loan from Forest? I think he might be, yeah. I think he might be. I'm sure Tyler Bindon, they signed him, didn't they? Freddie, who do you think is going to win? I think Middlesbrough. I think Middlesbrough too, sadly, but I'd like to see Sheffield United put up a real fight tonight. I don't mind Chris Wilder. I think, if they were to get a win tonight, it does just kind of put the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit in that playoff race. I still think Sheffield United can do it, but they need to get a win tonight. Anything other than a win tonight, and it does just kind of drag them back in. Butterborn says, I don't think he's ever been in the centre. That formation is wrong. That's come from Flash Scores, mate. I agree. I didn't think he was a centre-back either. I'm glad you agree. I was sat there thinking, I don't know why this is coming up saying he's at centre-back, but yeah, Ayling at right-back, so I maybe assume Luke Ayling's gone over to the left, which would mean that... Who would it be in the middle then? Who's in the middle? Malander and Target. No, Target to left-back. So who are they playing at the centre? No, there's only Target, Malander, Britton and Ayling. Who is it? Who's it going to play? Nah. Right, well, we're 8 minutes away from kickoff. Prince Rupert says Chris Wilder is to Sheffield United what Martin O'Neill is to Celtic, always bringing them back. Davey, it kicks off at 8:01 key. What was the thing? Is this what's the thinking behind this? Is it a mental health awareness? Is it Mind? Remember the 1 minute past kickoffs were usually in support of Mind. Phenomenal charity, by the way. Shell, how you doing, Kate? I'm doing very well, Shell. How are you, lovely? Where are we at? Sorry. Keelan Doherty. Nah, you were terrible. You have been for a few months, but can't seem to accept that. No, I think terrible is not the word I would use for Liverpool. I don't think we have been terrible. It's a charity thing. I think it is Mind, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Oh, it's the Heart Foundation. Right, the Heart Foundation. I see. Oh, goodness me. It's to do with the Heart Foundation. Again, great cause. Fabulous. Love it. Every minute matters. Yes. Like it. Sam says, Key, any games you're doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I am doing West Ham against United. West Ham United, that's at 8:15. It's an 8:15 kickoff. I'll be live for West Ham United tomorrow. And then live on Wednesday for Sunderland Liverpool. And then Thursday it's Brentford Arsenal. Zedman, you've been terrible, mates. 500 million and you're sixth. Yeah, I mean, we've literally gone over this umpteen times on the channel, but it's still, you can't continuously spend less than your rivals. If you continuously spend less than your rivals, inevitably you're going to fall behind them. Especially when you lose the amount of players we did in the summer. They absolutely sold Slot short. And they've sold him down the river. And he's out here taking the bullets. Poor use of money, to be fair. I don't think it was a poor use of money. I just don't think there was I think it was an insufficient amount of money. We the signings we've made, I'm actually quite happy with, to be fair. I think Vert's a good signing. I think Ekatiki's a good signing. I think Isak's a good signing. I think Kirkes has become a very good signing. I think Frimpong will be a good signing. I think Leone will be a good signing. I think Jacquet will be a good signing. The problem is they're all very young players, and we needed a little bit of experience in there. We also needed to replace Luis Diaz and umpteen other players. Reece says, heart awareness, everyone matters. Every minute matters when it comes to resuscitating someone with a defibrillator. Yes, absolutely. Right, let's have a look at the bench, because someone just said, is Phillips on the bench? Yes, Calvin Phillips is on the bench for Sheffield United tonight. No Riedewald, no McCallum, no Shackleton. For Borough, Lenihan, Jones, Edmonton, Castledine and Bangora still out through injury. So, Sedban didn't need Isak, really. Needed 2 centre-backs and a left winger, in my opinion. I think we absolutely needed Isak. We've only got 1 centre-forward with Ekatike, haven't we? We sold Darwin Núñez and we sadly lost Diogo Jota, so we definitely needed to replace those 2. So I don't think we didn't need Isak. We did need Isak, and he's our record sign. He's been out injured for the season, so again, you've got to give Slot a little bit of grace for that. That's nothing to do with Arne Slot. Jabba says 100 million for Vert and the spending was insufficient. That's disingenuous, Jabba. The spending was insufficient because we didn't sign other players that we needed to. The spending was insufficient because we spent less than City, less than Arsenal. But again, we're not going to dwell on this. We're watching Sheffield United and Borough. Usman, how's it going? Where are we up to? Sorry, Josh says Slotting just needs more time and another 500 million to rebuild it. That's absolutely true. Yeah, absolutely true. Needs more time, needs more investment. And I think, to be honest, he'll get it. He'll get it as well. It's not the manager that's the issue. Nowhere near. You spent the most. Yeah, no, we didn't. We spent less than Arsenal. We spent less than Arsenal. We spent less than City. But let's not keep doing this. Joe says the Howe press conferences are so sad to see. Poor bloke just looks empty after taking so much shit off the media and so-called fans. King Hov, I know, mate. Yeah, I agree. It was one of them. It's disappointing to lose, but unfortunately, that can happen, can't it? In games against big teams and good teams. City had a very good one. Charlie Knight, how did you spend less? You broke the transfer record twice. We did break the transfer record twice. That doesn't mean we spent more. Check Google. It's a free resource. Go and check it, mate. You can see for yourself. Arsenal spent more than us. Ugh. Butterborn, why did Liverpool get defenders? That makes me worried for them next season. We tried to get defenders. We tried to sign Mark Gay. I think if we had signed Mark Gay, then maybe the season might have been a little bit different. If Isak hadn't broke his leg, I think the season would be a little bit different. We're only 4 points. It's not like we're a mile off either. We're only 4 points off United in fourth, and we still got to play United. We've still got to play Chelsea. So I'm not overly concerned. I think if we had the players that we should have available, we've lost 4 players actually to season-ending injuries, and people also forget that we were in exactly this position when Jurgen Klopp was manager. Jurgen Klopp won the league with us, and then the season after we dropped off. The season after we was in this position, exactly this position. We were 6th, 4 points off the top 4, with 12 games to go. The year after we won the league under Jurgen Klopp. Literally exactly this position. In fact, we were in exactly this position when Bob Paisley did it as well. Bob Paisley had us in this position after winning the league, and we ended up turning it round and winning the Champions League in that year. CSPR, no you didn't, you spent the most. Oh, yeah, okay. These people just can't check Google. It's very silly. Sam, hey Key, I have an idea. Maybe do a Premier League Dad podcast. Don't think I've got the time for it, mate. I'd love to. What do I reckon the score will be? I think the score is going to be... I think 2-2. I think it's going to be Desmond. I think we're going to see goals in this one. Joe, at least you're not doing our game tomorrow. We might have a chance. An Oxford fan says, Key, did you know the title race has already happened before? This title race has already happened before. Which title race? Coventry and Borough. Tim Bowers says, call me Whitesnake because it's the only road I've ever known. Yeah, love that. Love that. Connor Google says Liverpool spent the most. Yeah, right. Okay. It's very simple, lads. It's very simple. We've done this a million times on the channel. You know, you just... If you have to sell 100 quid's worth of stuff to buy 100 quid's worth of stuff, how much have you spent? Simple. If you have to sell 100 quid's worth of stuff to buy 100 quid's worth of stuff, how much have you spent? It's not 100 quid, is it? It's 0. So, again, Arsenal spent more than us. Joel says, are you doing any games on the 21st? My birthday. It's a silly question, Joe. I'll be live every day. I'm always live. You know this. You know this. Jay Sakini, do you think Sheffield Wednesday will get their first goal of the year versus Millwall? Probably not, no. Probably not. Right, we're off and underway here at Bramall Lane. Let's get an early goal in this one. I'm fascinated to see exactly how Chris Wilder sets his side up against the most formed team in the division, albeit not a great side away from home. So we'll have to see exactly how they approach it. And they're already on the attack down the left-hand side. Casper, that's net spend, lad. Hey, you're catching on, Casper. Well done. Only took you half hour, but well done. Reese says, I can see another defeat in one of the 2 games this week for Liverpool and 2 edgy scraps against Forest and West Ham to follow. Not much wiggle for slot with the media and short-sighted fans. Short-sighted fans is right. Yeah. I think the club know, though, to be honest. It feels like the club are backing him, which is a really good thing. And to be honest, the majority of fans are. I don't really know, like I said, I still don't know a single serious Liverpool fan who wants him sacked. They know the situation the club is in, and I don't think anyone expected what's happened this season with the injuries. Not only just like random injuries, but literal 4 season-ending injuries to key players. 2 of whom are in the same position, which is wonderful. And the club just haven't backed him. AJ says, can you do what you did earlier last year, the score on the screen? I can, mate, yeah, but I won't be doing because it just doesn't seem to work on TikTok. So you can find me, I'm live over on the other place, the place that starts with a Y, the little red button with the triangle in. Yeah, you can go and find me over there. You can go and find me over on the purple streaming platform as well. Keith says, good evening, Key. Hope everything's well. I'm good, mate. How are you? And Brendan says, are you over yesterday's result, Key? What do you think about Sunderland? Of course I'm over it. Hey, listen, it's disappointing when it happens, but you just... I've seen much worse Liverpool sides. I've suffered much bigger defeats as a Liverpool fan. You learn to quickly brush it off and move on. It's not a devastating defeat. It's just disappointing that it happened so late, and we've had so many happen so late this season. But yeah, no, I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all. We're a very, very capable side. Just need a little bit more luck with injuries. Oh, unlucky. Sheffield United down the right-hand side. Hit it. Strike. Good save. Pushed away there by Bryn. Better. Much better. Sheffield United put it back in and cleared away. Only as far as the edge of the box. Strike miles wide from Peck. DC, you didn't have a shit till like the 50th minute, I heard. A shit. Joe says, do you miss going to the games? Not really, no. Not really. I mean, sometimes, yeah, but only like... I enjoyed going to the games with my dad. But yeah, not really. Maybe I will again, like when my daughter gets a little bit more. If she does, I'm not going to force her to be interested in football. She might not be interested in football, but if she is, then I'll take her. Maybe we go games again. But yeah, no, I've no immediate interest. I won't be going back off my own back anyway. Certainly won't be going back. Middlesbrough, give it away. Sheffield United, Bamford, hit it. Oh, unlucky off the line. I think he was just offside anyway. LFC Owen, what a shambles of a game that was from us. Is this the LFC Owen? Sweet Lord, tell me it's not. Oh my God. Joe, how do you have time to spend with your daughter? Well, I mean, it's 8 o'clock now, mate. I've only been live since 7:45. What do you think I've been doing all day? Casper, who do you think will get promoted from the Championship? I still think Middlesbrough will fall away. And I've been getting stick for this all season, and I apologise, Borough fans, if you think that. I mean, it seems a ridiculous shout right now because you're chasing down Coventry. But I've just had a feeling all season that you're just going to fall back a little bit. You had a couple of wobbles towards the start of the year. You've obviously regained miraculously. You might you might make me look a divvy. Who knows? But I do. I think Borough are going to fall back into the playoffs. Maybe they still come up from the playoffs. It's so difficult. The Championship's a really exciting league because you just never know. Looking at the table now, look at how little space there is. Borough are away here. This should be 1-0 Borough. Should be 1-0 Borough. Oh, he skied it. He skied it. That's absolutely shocking from Conway. And he's a player I really like as well. He can finish, Tommy Conway. He's a really good player. But he gets right underneath that. 2 points for Wigan. Reece says, I know it's not front page news, but there's real turbulence at Burnley. Our owner calling us fans 3-year-old toddlers for booing and being negative towards Parker. Plus set piece out chant. Sorry, set piece out. Joe says I meant on a weekend. Oh, on a weekend, I see probably a lot less of her. Yeah, on a weekend because I'm live. As you saw this weekend, from about 12 o'clock till 8 o'clock on a weekend. We usually do an early kickoff, maybe a 3 o'clock or a 5:30, and then sometimes an 8 o'clock kickoff. So yeah, I don't see a massive amount of her, maybe a couple of hours in the morning on a weekend. But through the week, it's great. Through the week, she finishes school, I go and pick her up. I take her to school in the morning. It's all good. Joe, do you watch women's football? We have done. We've watched a fair bit of women's football on the channel. It's usually been when there's big major tournaments on. I've not watched any of the WSL, but I have watched. We watched the Women's European Championships over the summer, just gone. We also watched the Women's Under-19 Euros, I think, briefly. It's just part of the commitment I give you, the channel commitment to watch a game, at least one game every single day. You know that. I watch a game every single day with you, live, and there's always a game on every single day. I was live on Christmas Day, I was live on New Year's Day, I was live every single day over the summer. I am always live. If there's a game on somewhere in the world, we'll be watching it. And it's always a good laugh and a good opportunity to talk through the news that's gone on in that football day or around the world or whatever you want to talk about. We'll talk about it's like a pub. Like a pub. It's a nice pub vibe. Quite chilled and relaxed. And we talk about, the top 10 biscuits sold last year. Top 10 crisp flavours sold last year. Top 10 chocolate bars sold last year. We've done all them halftime quizzes so far. And I've got a great halftime quiz for you today, by the way. Halftime quiz coming up. LFC Owen said, man said that better not be. The fuck. Yeah, LFC Owen, listen, mate, the only thing I know about you is that you spat at a camera. So, I'm not going to prejudge, but that's not a great starting intro point. But best wishes to you, mate. Whatever, I don't know anything about you. But what I have heard is not great. So, M says, apart from 1 or 2, the whole team shows no fight when we concede. That's what annoys me the most. The whole team shows no fight when we concede. That's what annoys me the most. I can't get on board with that. I don't know where the no fight comes from. I had loads of Liverpool fans telling me that last night. I say loads, like I don't think the majority, but there was certainly a fair few who were saying it's such a lack of intensity. The lack of intensity does not come from the manager. The lack of intensity comes from the absolutely apathy we've got from at least 3 or 4 players on that pitch who he can't change. We have no other options. Mo Salah should not be playing for Liverpool anymore. He knows he's going in the summer. Kanate should not be playing for Liverpool anymore. He knows he's going in the summer. Alexis McAllister should not be playing for Liverpool. He knows he's going in the summer. There's all these players who already... Chiesa, they know they're going. Andy Robertson is not a player I think who would switch off, but I think he knows he's going. There's a lot of players within that squad who know their time is up, and that does create a general apathy, let's call it. And apathy leads to disinterest and maybe a lack of intensity. Again, I don't think it's anything that Jurgen Klopp, that Arne Slot can control any more than Jurgen Klopp could, because Jurgen Klopp went through exactly this as well. And I don't want to spend the whole stream talking about Liverpool. I know that was the big game yesterday, but I want to focus as much as we can on Sheffield United and Middlesbrough. That's the game we're watching. CSPR from a neutral. Kirkes was pretty good last night. Kirkes is incredible. I think Kirkes has done really well since maybe just after Christmas. I think the last couple of months he's been amazing. Oh, great header. Good save from Cooper. Really, really good save that. And now Sheffield United try and get on the counter-attack. Good bit of play in the middle of the park there. It's that Hackney. Really, really tidy play. And he gets it away. Good lad. That's fantastic play. KS says Liverpool's main problem was not finishing their chances in the early second half yesterday. Agreed. Yeah, we didn't take our chances. Not only that, Alisson, a player who we've got, I think he's mega reliable. I still think he's the best keeper in the world, or amongst them, if you want to be pernickety. Another time where we've got a player who we've relied on for many, many years, making let's call it an error, a lapse of judgment, being a little bit rash, however you want to characterise it. But that's been Liverpool's season, is players who we should be relying on, players who we've previously been able to rely on, players who nobody could have ever guessed would have fallen off the way they had. I think Mo Salah has been appalling. I think Alexis McAllister has been appalling. Kanate and Van Dijk at different points have not been great. Alisson yesterday, there's just all that stuff, and I think people pointing to the managers just short-sighted. People want a quick fix. They're looking at Liam Rosenior and Carrick and going, ooh, shiny, shiny. Doesn't fix the systemic issues we've got at Liverpool. TBM says, bro, I actually enjoy your Arsenal hate watches. Cheers, man. Thank you. They're not hate watches, but whatever you want to call them, I appreciate it. Ree says it's just the easier thing to say when things are going wrong, when in reality there's only so far effort can carry a team without momentum and confidence. It's always multi-layered. Yeah, people want a simple answer to a question that it hasn't got. It's got multiple answers. It's all nuanced and complex, but they want a simple answer, and they want it to be, the manager. The manager's the issue. It's nonsense. Sheffield United, off the line from Borough. They're still in the box. Brooks. Can Borough get it away? And I think they just about do, yeah. Just about. Sheffield United having some chances early in the first 15 minutes here. Couple of chances. To be honest, Borough have had a chance on the counter-attack as well. It's been quite a fast start here. Now down on the left-hand side. Is it Conway? Into the box. Far post. Whittaker straight at the keeper. He's been on fire this season, hasn't he, Whittaker? Jake, how's it going? Dylan, good to see you. What was that? Sorry, Gary Andrew. Could you do a quiz on the top 5 of Premier League as current? A quiz? Could I do a quiz? For duck's sake, do you think Coventry getting promoted is a foregone conclusion? No, not at all. Not at all. Coventry's recent form has been pretty poor, hasn't it? Finners Matty, did you see the Atalanta game? Which one? Which one are we talking about? Davey says Salah should stay to get his testimonial next year. Listen, I really like Salah, Davey. I like him a lot. I think he's made a massive error in saying what he said, and you can't say what you said and cause an issue like that. And I mean, he has apologised. It's been leaked that he apologised. Curtis Jones, I think, said in the media that he'd come back and apologised for what he said and what he did. And he has been reintegrated into the team, but you can't do what you did and still be a liability on the pitch and still be this poor. Oh, Sheffield United, shocking. Good strike, just wide. Nearly 1-0 to Borough. Morgan Whittaker again. Tom says, what are we saying, sorry? Oh, Brendan, do you watch League of Ireland in the summer? We have watched a couple of games, including League of Ireland clubs, but I don't think we've watched an awful lot of League of Ireland per se. But listen, as the fixture list comes out, I'm forever checking it through the day to see, right, what game can we watch? I literally have to plan the fixture schedule like a month in advance, so I generally know what games I'm doing on a specific date like a month in advance. And if there isn't any fixtures on, usually as we get closer, more and more become available. There's always a game on. Every single day of the year, there's always a game of football on. Christ, if we were live on Christmas Day, I'm pretty confident we can get a game at different parts of the year. Sam says, oh yeah, Key, I saw a report about Newcastle and Curtis Jones. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Curtis Jones to Newcastle makes sense for him, makes sense for Newcastle, makes sense for Liverpool. Joel says, people want you to talk about Liverpool, so you bite and then say that they have got you. Well, yeah, well, maybe. Maybe. For duck's sake says, I think Salah is not the player that he once was. I think they should sell him to Saudi Arabia, to be honest. Mo Salah is not going to Saudi Arabia. I'm telling you, get that thought out of your head. There's not a chance the guy goes to Saudi Arabia. I don't think he leaves Liverpool. I think Liverpool would love to sell him, but I don't think he'll want to go to Saudi Arabia. He's already turned down massive, massive money to go to Saudi in order to secure the deal that he's got at Liverpool. Mo Salah firmly believes that he is amongst the best players in the world. He's not going to go to Saudi Arabia when he's still in his prime. And he believes he's in his prime. I'm telling you, there's no way at all that Mo Salah is going to Saudi Arabia. I would bet my house on it. I'd bet my life on it. There's no way Salah goes to Saudi Arabia in the summer. Get it out your head. It's not happening. Ree says, I think Salah was justified saying what he did, only in the premise that he let his boots do the talking upon his return, which he blatantly hasn't managed to. I think he threw Slot under the bus. I really do. I don't think his issue was with Arne Slot at all. I think his issue is the fact that the club tried to sell him under his feet. That's what happened. It's patently what happened. Rami Abbas got word that Liverpool were trying to get a deal for him from someone to see if any were interested, and he lost his head. And he threw his toys out the pram. I don't think that's anything to do with Arne Slot. Arne Slot has got nothing to do, by the way, with buying and selling players at the club. So I think he had a pop at the wrong guy, and I think he did owe him an apology. And not only has he owed him apologies, he's owed him performances, and he hasn't given him. So I find it incredibly difficult to have sympathy with Salah, even though he's been a phenomenal player for us. I can't really sympathise with the guy. Butter in, should be 1-0. Great goal. That's a fabulous finish. And it is Conway this time. I told you this player could finish, and it's there, right-footed. Butter's number 9, Tommy Conway, bottom corner. Absolutely fantastic goal. Absolutely fantastic goal. 1-0 to Borough, and they are flying towards the top of the championship. Coventry looking nervously over their shoulders, and it's no surprise because Borough are now top. 2 points clear, in fact, having played the same number of games. There you go. Gunner says, why wouldn't he go Saudi when everything about him, religion, his beliefs, etc., he will definitely go. Well, Saudi Pro League's not a very good league. And he wants to win a Premier League and a Champions League. He wants to play with the best players, and the best players are not in Saudi. For duck's sake says, might be a bold statement, but I put Salah in the top 5 greatest Premier League all-time players. I mean, he's up there. I don't know if he's in the top 5, but he's up there. Where are we up to? Says Brendan, there'll be more goals in this one. Very open start. Yeah, Sheffield United have to turn this around, though. I said 2-2 before the game. I still think 2-2 is where this one finishes. But look at that. Look at that. Kim Hellberg will be delighted with that. When scoring first in the Championship this season, Borough have done it 15 times, and they have won all 15. Whenever Borough score first, they win, according to the stats. Hard to name 5 better. It's all subjective, isn't it? I guess we can all split hairs on who the top 5 is. There's some people who would name certain players in their top 5 who wouldn't get in my top 20. So, and vice versa, I'm sure. Joel says Rob Edward gets everything he deserves for leaving Borough. I think Rob Edwards has done an alright job at Wolves, to be honest. I think Wolves have sold him down the river a little bit, to be honest. And I don't think there's any guarantee at all that that Borough come up. I know the top at the minute, but still a long way to go, isn't there? Still 15 games left. Still basically a third of the season to go. Same as the Premier League. If you've got a third of the season to go, you can't be saying anything definitive about who's up, who's down, who's in the playoffs, who's in the Champions League places, whatever. Lewis says Gravenberch will be in the top 5 midfielders in future. I mean, he's a good player. Good player. Reece says, if Sheffield United get promoted, it'll be the biggest disappointment ever. If Sheffield United get promoted, why would it be disappointing? For duck's sake says Henry, Rooney, Salah, De Bruyne, Zola, my top 5. See, Zola doesn't even make my top 20. But I get a very good player, undoubtedly a good player, but not in my top 20. Finner says, I'm the same key on my notes. I got all the upcoming fixtures. I already got the World Cup scheduled as well. Love it. Welsh wing, I'd put him up front and rotate him with Gyökeres and Jesus or Saka because he's injury prone. Reece says, mate, there's been 13 goals attempts in 13 minutes here. I've been counting. They're flying, and Borough up the other end of the pitch now as well. I don't know what Cooper was doing there. Came charging out of his box. Conway's gone down. He's claiming a foul against Tanganga. I don't know if he's going to get it. Don't think he is. Archie, what is your top 5 then? My top 5 all-time Premier League players. Never really thought about it. If I had to give me top 5 all-time Premier League players, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you want to try and be position agnostic. Like, is there a position that's more important than others? Like, I genuinely think that Gerrard and Van Dijk are the 2 best defenders and midfielders in Premier League history. I don't think there's been a better defender than Van Dijk. I don't think there's been a better midfielder than Gerrard. I also don't think there's been a better centre forward than Suarez. So I would say those 3. After that, it's really difficult to be, because you want to include a goalkeeper. There's a lot of great goalkeepers. You look at Cech, you could look at Schmeichel, you could look at Alisson. Look at plenty of keepers who at the one time have been amongst, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. I always rated Bale. I always thought Gareth Bale at his peak in the Premier League was unplayable. And if we're just talking about Premier League peak, This is it. People categorise it in different ways, don't they? Like, you could pick Giggs just for longevity, stayed at the top, won everything there is to win. But then I don't think Giggs' peak is better than Bale's peak. Ryan Giggs' peak is not better than Bale's peak. But across his career, he was better. And he won more. Archie, I could name 5 better defenders than Van Dijk in the Prem. I don't doubt you could, Archie. I mean, hey, this is it. It's the beauty of football, isn't it, mate? It's the beauty of football is that we all have our opinions and we all have our takes. And yours are that you've got 5 better defenders than Van Dijk, and that's cool. That's just your right, mate. You can have whatever you want. John says, what are you watching? What am I watching? I'm watching Sheffield United against Middlesbrough. Brendan says, I think Henry is universally in everyone's top 5. Outside of that, it's all up for debate. Rooney was great too, to be fair. See, Henry would be in my top 5. But then this is my problem about how am I picking... Because then you could just go all centre-forwards. Like, if we're talking about difference makers, people always focus on centre-forwards, but there's loads of players who were, in different ways, difference makers. Like, genuinely, I can't rate Dennis Irwin highly enough. Dennis Irwin was unbelievable for Manchester United, and I always thought he was fantastic. I always thought Ruud van Nistelrooy was incredible as well. But yeah, Rooney would probably be in mine. Kane, it's Def Kane. I can't really... Kane, Bale, Rooney, Henry. It's so tough. So tough. So tough. I can understand. Hey, people can have whatever they want, can't they? Archie says it's got to be like the mean of their seasons for sure. Longevity and peaks, you've got to mix a little. You could honestly, if you changed up the criteria, you could probably pick completely different 5s, couldn't you? If it had to be like across, like Suarez wouldn't get in. Suarez would not get in if it was just about a level of consistency. But if we're talking about the best centre-forward season anyone has ever had in the Premier League, it's Luis Suarez, without question. And yeah, I've never seen anyone dominate in the way that Luis Suarez did in 13-14. So I would have to say him for peak. And it would be Bale as well for peak. But I can't include those if we're trying to be sort of, let's have a look across them over, a 3 or 4 year period. An element of consistency is important. Bale had one great season. I know, but what a season. What a season. And then he went to Madrid and won the lot as well. He was unbelievable. Brendan says, yeah, the hardest thing to do is create and score, so it's fair enough to weight it towards forwards, in my opinion. But maybe. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. But then you're kind of just ruling out like 80% of footballers, aren't you? Like, goalkeepers play a massive part. Goalkeepers is arguably the hardest job on the pitch. Goalkeepers, you can have a perfect game, make one mistake, people remember it. Whereas a striker, you can miss 9 clear chances, open nets. Nobody talks about it, though, if you score the winner. So... See, Wheatley, what do you think at the stadium? I like Key. I think we do, yeah. I think we beat you. It'd be such a Liverpool thing to beat Sunderland. I'm not downplaying it in any way. I think Sunderland's going to be a really difficult trip, especially without Szoboszlai, but it would be the most Liverpool thing to go there and win. And I've not been mega impressed by Sunderland recently, if I'm dead honest. I thought you were really poor against West Ham. I thought you were really poor against Arsenal, to be honest, for the most part. Strike. I didn't even think you were that impressive at home against Burnley and Palace. So, yeah, I don't know. It's maybe not going to be a game for the ages. It's maybe not going to be an exciting one, but I'll be watching it, so we'll see. I'll be live for it. Hopefully we get a win. Strike. Oh, side netting. Unlucky from Hayden Hackney. Bish Bash Bosh, Ronaldo 0708 clears Suarez. Ronaldo, yeah. Ronaldo, the year he won the Ballon d'Or, I think Ronaldo's up there too. Yeah. Ronaldo was unplayable that year. Ronaldo, Rooney. Probably, do you know what? Ronaldo, Rooney, Suarez. Ronaldo, Rooney, Suarez, Henri, Gerrard. There you go. That's it. That's me 5. I'd maybe take Suarez out for Van Dijk. Just so we're not being totally, like, forward thinking. But, I mean, yeah. I can't be strong enough on Luis Suarez in terms of I think he's the greatest centre-forward who has ever lived. I genuinely... Luis Suarez at Barcelona and at that back end of Liverpool. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Could do everything. Archie, that's fair, but why Van Dijk over Rio and Terry? I mean, I would have Vidic ahead of Rio, and I don't think Vidic was maybe given as much praise as he should have got. And that was maybe because he capitulated every time he played Liverpool. What a ball that is. Bamford, can he score? Oh my God, how's he missed it? That is absolutely unbelievable from Bamford. Oh, what a ball in that is. It's a great touchdown. And he smashed it in the side netting. Who picks him out here? Is it Hamer? He's onside. He's onside. Hamer with a pass. Unbelievable touch. Oh, it's Bergkamp-esque from Bamford. First touch incredible. Takes it down. All he has to do is hit the target. And he scuffs it into the side netting. Oh, terrible. Terrible. Baines has capitulated against Liverpool. Heard it all now. Mate, he got sent off like 3 times against us. he was terrified of Torres. Welshwing says Terry is probably my all-time best defender as an Arsenal fan. Terry would probably be my... Yeah, Terry would probably be my second. If it's not Van Dijk, then it's Terry. He was unreal. But I think John Terry... In the modern game, let's say, it's all very much it's a little bit of nostalgia as well, isn't it? Because, you know, you might argue that John Terry, if he had to play in the modern game and play with a really, really high line, he wouldn't be as good. Strike! Oh, what a save that is! Oh, Bryn, how have you kept that out? Hamer, unbelievable, and Bryn tips it wide for a corner. Sheffield United could be level, could be in front. Oh my God, what a ball in this is. It's laid off to Hamer. Oh, it's a great save. That is an absolutely unbelievable save. Rohale says, Suarez was the better player. What you think of my knowledge makes no difference. Julius, is there no midweek predictions? Yes, there is a midweek prediction show. But I'm only going to be posting it tomorrow. So there'll be a midweek prediction show tomorrow. Join me for it. Members only, as you know. If you want to join Premier League Dad Members Club, then you can do. It's over on YT. The red button with the play button in the middle. Joe says, Dempsey, Hangeland, Dembele, JP and Danny Murphy are the best 5 in the Prem. Can you guess the team I support? Fulham. Listen, I loved that Fulham side. JP. Who's JP? Don't tell me Jonathan Pantsill. Dempsey, Hangeland, Dembele, JP, and Danny Murphy. Danny Murphy was a great player. JP, Jonathan Pantsill, seriously. Welshwing says Company, Van Dijk, Terry, Adams, Vidic, Ferdinand, Saliba will be in a few years, but for me it's Terry. That's fair. That's fair. I have no problem with people disagreeing and thinking it's a different player. That's your right. What are we saying? Sorry, Mad Dunny. Are you still sticking with Slot? I was, but it's getting hard to. How are you attributing last night to Arne Slot? I don't get how many people are giving Slot stick for last night. It's nothing to do with Slot last night. Corner to Sheffield United. Headed back in, and it's offside. I think, has he got a foul? Foul from Tanganga, I think. Archie, why do you rate Henry so low compared with most people who'd put him first? It's honestly, it's not that I rate him low at all. He would be my number 2. I just think Suarez had that unbelievable season. So it's, again, Archie, it just comes down to criteria and whether we're doing it on Are we rating him on peak, like the best they have been? And can we include how they were outside of the Premier League as well? Because I genuinely think Luis Suarez is better. I can live with people disagreeing, by the way. But I think Luis Suarez's peak was higher than Henry's peak. Henry, though, if we're looking at it across maybe a 3-year period, it's Henry every single day of the week. Every single day of the week. Henry is number one centre-forward. And to be honest, even if we're doing the consistency thing, then Suarez isn't even second then. It's Kane for me after that. And then maybe it's Rooney. But yeah, if we're talking about like just peak in the Premier League, the like 1 or 2 season peak, then it opens up a few others. This is why, like, I thought Drogba had one season where he was unbelievable. But the rest of his Chelsea career, he was good. He was really good. He was difficult to play against, but he wasn't like top 10 strikers. I don't think Drogba makes the top 10 Premier League strikers of all time. But he had one season at least where he was like, wow. And yeah, it's just how you want to categorise it, I guess. Nick says Suarez Premier League titles 0, Henry Premier League titles 3. I know, but that's if you decide that you care about Premier League titles. Why would team honours really play a factor in that? I don't think they would. I mean, if you want to use them as a factor, that's fine, but I don't think you'd use team honours to hold a player back, or I don't even think that plays a part in it at all. I think most people, if they're naming their all-time Premier League 11, they're putting Gerrard in midfield. And Gerrard didn't win a Premier League title. The vast majority of people are putting Gerrard in there. If they saw Gerrard, I mean, I'm sure if anyone's like, 15, they're putting Rice in there. Archie, that's a bad argument for Henry. He didn't win the most by far. Exactly, yeah. This is it. He did, if we're talking in the Premier League, he didn't win a Champions League. He didn't win anything really with Arsenal other than he won the FA Cup and the couple of Premier Leagues, didn't he? But he didn't really sort of clear up as other great strikers did. Same with Shearer. Shearer, that's a bad argument for. Kane, it's a bad argument for. But it's a great argument for, maybe centre forwards who did win an awful lot. Andy Cole actually is. I think Andy Cole should be mentioned a lot more. Tom says, did George Graham buy Bergkamp? No, it was Bruce Rioch who bought Dennis Bergkamp. Tom Westwood, nice Scouse accent, mate. It's not Scouse. Tom, you need to do a bit of homework on what a Scouse accent sounds like. This isn't a Scouse accent, mate. Nick says Henry's peak season was the invincible season he won them the league. How is Suarez peak better? Suarez's peak, I mean, I'm looking at your profile picture, mate, and I don't know if you were around for it. So I would guess it's probably pointless and futile having this conversation. But Suarez, if you watch that season and you were around for that season, yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's plenty of people who've had this conversation recently about the best individual centre-forward season, and Suarez features quite high in a lot of those conversations, if not the highest. Tommy, was Carragher a better player or a pundit? He's very good at both. Very, very good at both. Tommy, are you born in the 80s, Key? I'm not, mate, no. Bang on 1990. What we saying? Sorry, Welsh Wing. He was a big factor in the change of style. He was. Paul Merson was saying that the other day as well. And this is it. Again, if we're talking about top 5 Premier League players, you're ruling out players who were like Bergkamp, Zola. People are too obsessed with stats these days. Zola and Bergkamp statistically weren't all that impressive. But watch him. Fucking hell, they were incredible. Welshwing says Carragher said the best striker he faced was Henry. Probably, yeah. Probably, because he just knocked it past him and Carragher never had pace, really. King Hov says Suarez didn't win anything for Liverpool, not even a League Cup. Again, you're entitled to have whatever your opinion you want, mate. I just don't think team honours really define the individual. There's plenty of really, really poor players or just average players who've won everything. And there's plenty of really, really good players who didn't win an awful lot. Some who won absolutely nothing. And, you know, when you say that Thierry Henry won Arsenal that title, he was very, very good. He was incredible. And for me, he's in my top 5 of all time. However, let's not pretend that Arsenal side was exactly it was a piss poor side that Henry was carrying. It was a very, very decent side other than Henry, wasn't it? Mind your own, remember Kanchelskis. Andrei Kanchelskis was unbelievable too, yeah. Very good player. Probably not someone I'd feature in a top 5 all-time Premier League players, but he was very good. Probably a player that, United wouldn't have sold if they had the time again. Shell, how's the game, Key? Middlesbrough looking more and more in control with every passing minute, to be honest. They've got the ball to throw in on the left-hand side now for Borough. Tommy says Suarez was unstoppable on a par with Hazard for a while. Different styles, though. Yeah. I mean, Hazard was another one I would maybe categorise in the Zola Berg camp. I don't ever think he was maybe as devastating as someone like Bale. Oh, claim for the penalty, not getting that. I don't think he was ever as devastating as Bale, but he was a very good player. He had a short peak where he was very, very good. Fee says, sir, do you believe Man United is a poor team? No, not at all. Not a poor team at all. Unknown IFRX says, surely Slot gets sacked in the summer. No way we can lose to teams at Anfield. You can't lose to teams at Anfield. I think people still think we're the title winners. You can't sell 30% of a title winning side, spend less than your rivals, replace all those 30% with kids, lose 3-4 players to season-ending injuries. You can't just consistently spend less than your rivals and stay in a title race. It's ridiculous to me. Rohale says Shearer and Sutton helped Blackburn win the title, and for Newcastle he was a goal-scoring machine too. I mean, again, that Blackburn side wasn't exactly a poor one. If you look back through that Blackburn side, they were unbelievable. Colin Hendry, Batty in midfield, Tim Flowers, what a goalkeeper Tim Flowers was. Wilcox as well. Curse Clap says United v West Ham prediction tomorrow. I'm doing my predictions tomorrow. I've got a prediction video coming out tomorrow. King of says Thierry Henry is the greatest player in the history of the Premier League. This was said by Gerard Rooney, John Terry and Jamie. Well, again, that's absolutely your right to think that way, mate. That's your right. And I wouldn't disagree with people thinking it. NTB, you aren't old enough to remember the Blackburn Premier League win. Why not? I was born in 1990. Why? When did you start watching football? I was watching... I saw the tail end of the 94 World Cup, mate. I don't remember an awful lot of it, but... I remember Euro 96 vividly. I grew up with Robbie Fowler. NTB, so you were 5. Yeah. Was you not watching football when you were 5? I was watching football when I was 5. I went to my first game. I was well into football at 5. Before 5. Rebel says, what was Alisson doing last night with that pen? Comes flying out the box. Should have let the ball run out. I mean, everyone's got 20/20 hindsight, haven't they? Joe says, can you talk about the game? If there's anything happening, Joe, I'll absolutely talk about the game. There's nothing going on. We've not had a shot. We've not had a shot on target since the last one from, was it Whittaker? Morris has just got a free kick in the middle of the park. 90 seconds left in the first half. Ben says Blackburn literally bought the league with Jack Walker's war chest. And to be honest, people used to say that about Liverpool in the 80s. And Everton as well. plenty of sides have been accused of that. Tommy, I went to watch Arsenal v Liverpool in '95. Ian Wright v Fowler. Was that when Fowler dived and got up and tried to say no to the penalty? It's never happened in Premier League history since that. That's why one of the reasons why I love Robbie Fowler. He went to jump over David Seaman. Oh, off the post and in, surely. Oh, what a goal that is. What a goal that is. Absolutely sensational. Was it Hackney who had the strike from distance there? I think it was Hackney with the strike. And it just bounced off the post. And keeper, I don't know. Does the keeper get a touch on this? Or does it... I don't know if the keeper gets a touch on it. The ball gets hit from distance. It's just outside the box. It dips just in front of the keeper. He tips it onto the post, I think, and it bounces back out. And McGree is there with a header into an empty net. 2-0 Borough, bang on half-time. Worst possible end to the half for Sheffield United. That was the one. Yeah, he was different class, David Seaman as well. Yeah, I don't think he got a touch on it there, Cooper. Just a good strike from the edge of the box. I think it was Hayden Hackney. Good strike. Bounce back. McGree with the header into the empty net. Unreal. Tiago says, Alisson's too good for mistakes like that, but humans mess up every now and then. He's still quality. That's true. We're all human. We all mess up. It happens. Joel says, my first game was a 3-1 loss. Against Bournemouth. Eddie Howe's Bournemouth. Mike Ashley days and fans were fighting behind me. Didn't want to go back. Eric says, do you think Sheffield United score tonight, mate? By the looks of the game, I haven't watched it yet. Well, 2 minutes of extra time, injury time to go. Got 90 seconds, really, because we've already got 30 seconds in. But Sheffield United 0, Borough 2. If anything, it looks like Borough are going to add to their lead before half-time. And they're in the box here now. Big chance. It's going to go behind for a corner. Very nearly 3-0. Mind your own, Prime Adams or Prime Terry? Prime Terry. Tony Adams was great, but again, I don't think he would maybe last in the modern game. Unknown FRX, you think Adam Wharton would be key for Liverpool? No. I'm not sold on him. Not sold on him. He's a good player, but I'm not mad sold on him. What are we saying? Sorry, Joe says Sheffield United are so open. They are. They're very, very open. This is kind of what we've seen from Sheffield United all season, it feels like. Just a continuation of it. I don't actually think Borough have been... They've been good. They've been good, and they've had opportunities and they've taken them. But Sheffield United have had chances. I think they'll rue, the miss from Bamford and maybe the big save from Bryn for Hamer. They've absolutely missed key chances, Sheffield United, in big moments in the game. Flow state or no state? Yes, Keeber. How are we? Good, mate. How are you? Unknown FRX, who would be a 6 that you would get in the market for Liverpool? Who would I get? I mean, I like your Whartons and your Stillers and, players who can move the ball around, but I don't think that's who Liverpool are going for. I think they're going for a bit more of a destroyer. I think they're after someone who can put themselves about a little bit. Maybe more, someone in the mould of Belaber, but not Belaber. It is half-time here at Bramall Lane. We're just in time for our half-time quiz. If you want to stick around for our half-time quiz, make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. All the good stuff. Joe, when's the panel show, mate? No panel show now. Yeah, no panel show. I asked your mate as well. I spoke to your mate, Rhino. Yeah, said he had no time to do it. And I was like, all right, fair enough, mate, no problem. So I've parked it. I'm not going to be doing it anymore. I was meant to be on the football terrace tonight, actually. Terry Flewers messaged earlier and said, "Do you want to come on tonight?" But we had this live on, so I did the live instead. But Yeah, I was meant to be on Football Terrace tonight, which would have been my Football Terrace debut. Joe says, do anyone else forget Phillips still existed? He's just had a really rough time of it. I think he's talked about mental health issues and stuff like that, hasn't he, as well, Calvin Phillips? So, you don't want to be too critical. I think as a player, he was phenomenal at Leeds. It just didn't work out when he went to Manchester City. And, yeah, I hope he can. I hope he can get his career back on track. Josh says, why do you need a 6 with Gravenberg? Gravenberg's not a 6. Gravenberg's just playing in the 6. He's not a number 6. He's not a number 6 at all. He's just playing there. Butterborn says, come on, Key. Hellberg's a top manager. Butter will go up. Frank Lampard has no clue. He has no clue right now. Yeah, right now. But there was a time not that long ago, but Butter looked a little bit all over the place. Mate, I think just people... Feels like as football fans, we don't learn our lessons. We all get too excited for a couple of results. And it's... You can see it with loads of teams at the minute. Liverpool have had a couple of bad results. All of a sudden, it's dreadful. It's dreary. It's sack slot. It doesn't even take a couple of bad results, actually. I mean, it only takes one bad result with Liverpool. United, 3 wins, bang. Oh, we're amazing. Fantastic. We're going to win the league. Same nonsense. Middlesbrough are doing really well right now. The top, best of luck to them. Maybe they do come up. But we don't seem to learn our lesson that throughout the season, there's peaks and there's troughs, and there'll be... Butter might have another dip. United probably will have another dip. Chelsea will have a dip. Arsenal haven't had their dip yet. City might have a little peak. You never know. There's a lot more twists and turns in everything. The title race, the relegation battle. We don't know if Leeds are going to get pulled into it. We don't know if West Ham are going to fly. It might well, but you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. There's loads still to happen between now and the end of the season. Tommy, what percentage chance do you give Liverpool making top 5 now? 75-ish, maybe 80. I think we've still got a very, very good chance. Very, very good chance. Joe says, did you mention me? I'll have to explain when he's next on. I didn't mention you, no. I just said... Are you up for the chat? And he said he was busy, and I said, all right, no problem. Yeah, happy, leave it with you. But to be honest, I'm not going to be doing it anyway, so it's all good. It's fine. Junior, how's it going? Tobias says, get Phillips on. Phillips hat trick. Right, hang on. Let's do our halftime quiz. Sorry, before we get stuck into it. Right, here we go. So. I want you to tell me, if you can, the top 15 goal scorers in the Premier League for either Sheffield United or Middlesbrough. There are 15 players. And, yeah. 15 players. In fact, they've all scored. The lowest has scored 13. So... That's good enough for top 15. If you was to rank the top scorers in Premier League history for Sheffield United and the top scorers in Premier League history for Middlesbrough, right? And we put them into a list and we mishmashed them around, what would it look like? The top 15. There you go. Janino, says Rohale. Yep, Janino's 1. Janino is 1. Janino's 2, sorry. Janino is number 2 in the list. 29 goals for Middlesbrough. See you later, Sarah. Take it easy. Have a good night. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. Not Billy Sharp. No, Billy Sharp's not in the list. Bang on, lad. Says you was wrong the other day. I'm from Liverpool. Go the match weekly. A lot are slot out. No, they're not, mate. No, they're not. The vast majority are slotting. Could this be the year back to the Premier League for Borough? Not for me. Ollie McBurney is right. Ollie McBurney is rock bottom. 13 goals in the Premier League for Sheffield United. Yeah, so for Borough and for Sheffield United. Chris Wilder. Not Cameron Archer. No. Not Flo. There's plenty in it. You'll all know the names, I'm telling you. If you've watched football, even for like the last 15, 20 years, I guarantee you'll know all of these names. Jabba says Key and I agree on slot. Not Muse, no. Hamilton Ricard is correct. Hamilton Ricard is number 1. 30 Premier League goals for Middlesbrough. There's a lot of names you'll all recognise, I'm telling you. 30 goals for Hamilton Ricard, 29 for Janino, 13 for McBurney. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players still to get. Another 11 players still to get. Not Gareth Southgate, no. Jason Keeney, do you think Sheffield Wednesday will get their first goal of the year versus Millwall? No. No, I don't. This might be the hardest halftime quiz. I've got no idea. There's a lot of all of these players you'll know. All of them. Absolutely all of them. Charlie, do you support Arsenal or Liverpool? Honestly, clueless. Why? What makes you ask that? What makes you ask that? Paul Merson. No, not Paul Merson. Brian Dean is correct. Brian Dean actually played for both of these teams. He got 18 for Middlesbrough and 15 for Sheffield United. He's actually the top goal scorer in Premier League history for Sheffield United with just 15 goals. Not Paul Ince. No, Yakubu is right, Shell. Yakubu is 4th. 25 Premier League goals for Middlesbrough. Magnus, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Yeah, you've got Hamilton Ricard, Janino, Yakubu, Brian Dean, and Ollie McBurney. They are the ones that we've got in the quiz so far. Not Paul Ince. No, Ryan. Not Paul Ince. Be kind says Middlesbrough and Ipswich. What about him? Oh, to go up, you think? Strange, isn't it? I can name these classic Borough players, but not a single Sheffield United player. Hasselbank. Hasselbank, Beth Crosby. Fantastic answer, Beth. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, 22 Premier League goals for Middlesbrough. Ravanelli, there you go. Ravanelli's absolutely brilliant. And Viduka, Tommy, there you go. They're all coming in now. Ravanelli got 16 for Borough. And Viduka is 3rd with 26. So you've now got the top 4 for Borough. Stuart Downing is 10th with 18 for Borough. Fantastic. Guilty Sparky, I've been saying this for a while now. I hope you're ready to play Borough next season. We're not going to get relegated, mate. I don't think it's that bad at Liverpool. Szilard Nemeth, says Stefan. Yes. Szilard Nemeth is 5th with 23 goals. Is he Slovakian, this? I'm sure he was Slovakian, wasn't he? Has Barmby been said? Barmby has not been said, but it's not Nick Barmby, no. There's 4 players left to get, and they're all Middlesbrough players. They're all Middlesbrough players, and they're all players that you'll know as well. Or I would imagine so anyway. If you've watched Premier League football over the last 20 years, you'll definitely know these players. All of them. We've got Nemeth. It's not Adama. We've got Yakubu. Big Alan Boksic. Love that. Alan Boksic, yes. What a player he was, by the way. Not just for Borough, but for Lazio. He was a fantastic player, Alan Boksic. He is 7th with 22 Premier League goals. We've got Hamilton Ricard. We've got Yakubu. Massimo Macaroni is correct. Number 8 in the list. What a European legend he was for the Borough. 18 goals for Borough in the Premier League. Joseph Desiree Job, Beth. Fabulous answer. Yeah, Joseph Desiree Job is 12th with 16 Premier League goals. We've got Brian Dean, mate. We've got so far, there's only one left to get. Hamilton Ricard, Janino, Viduka, Yakubu, Szilard Nemeth, Hasselbank, Boksic, Macaroni, Brian Dean, who played for both, Stuart Downing, Ravanelli, Joseph Desiree Job, and Ollie McBurney of Sheffield United. They are the top 15, 14 goal scorers in Premier League history for both Borough and Sheffield United. And there's one left to get. It's not Zenden. It's not Zenden. It's not Craig Hignett. No, Craig Hignett wasn't far off, though. Macaroni is a superb surname. How many left? Just one. It's not Zenden. Stefan Hungarian, bro. Are you sure? Szilard Nemeth was Hungarian. He sounds Hungarian. No, I'm sure he was Slovakian. Yeah, he was Slovakian. He was Slovakian. Told you. It's Hungarian. Made me second guess myself then. Has anyone said the little guy? We have had the little guy. Yeah, the little guy's been named. He's second. Janino. It's not Janino. Rohale says, good as me, an all-time best for Middlesbrough, would probably win the Premier League. Some great players there, honestly. Viduka and Boksic up front. Janino. Hasselbank. Hasselbank was so underrated. We've got Viduka. We've got Janino. It's not Paul Wilkinson, no. How many seasons did Borough and Sheffield United play in the Prem? I mean, Sheffield United, I would imagine maybe about 4, 5 in total. Maybe 5 or 6 and an absolute push, but not many. Borough, maybe 10. About 10 for Borough. It feels like Borough have had a couple where they've... And then they were a Premier League staple for a number of years, weren't they? Not Bamford. Ravanelli, we've already said. We've had Paulista. Yeah, Janino we've already had. Not Shipley. We've had 14 seasons in the Prem at least. 14. Well, 10 was a wild guess. I mean, I don't know. My memory is maybe skewed. Which club is it for? It's for Middlesbrough. It's Middlesbrough. Yeah, Middlesbrough. Not Quinn. No. Turkish Borough player. That should give the game away, to be fair. Tunchai Sanley. There you go, Guilty Spot. Yeah, Tunchai got 15 goals in the Premier League for Borough. So there you go. They are your top 15 Premier League goal scorers in order of goals scored combined for Sheffield United and Borough. It was Ollie McBurney, Brian Dean, Tunchai, Joseph Desiree Job, Ravanelli, Stuart Downing, Massimo Macaroni, Alan Boksic, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Szilard Nemeth, Yakubu, Viduka, Janino, and Hamilton Ricard. If you enjoyed that, make sure you've hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, make sure you come back, because we do quizzes every single day, every half time, and we're live every single day. So if you like that sort of thing, if you enjoyed that sort of thing, then hit the like button, subscribe, appreciate it. Some absolute ballers on that list. They were incredible, weren't they? I did like Borough around that time. Remember when you had Christian Karimba as well? He was a great player. World Cup winner as well, Christian Karimba. Remember Two-Guy from Blackburn scored some screamers? Yeah, Two-Guy was different class as well. All the players who played with him at Blackburn said he used to come in smoking in training. He used to come in with like fag in his mouth and stuff like that. But he was cracking, yeah, he was great. Rohale says, so much nostalgia, even the kits look better in those days. What was the Borough sponsor? The Borough sponsor that they had, it was Cellnet, wasn't there? It was Cellnet for a while. What was it before that? Oh, Borough sponsors, that's going to do me head in. Guilty Spark, you're a Borough fan. Give us some Borough sponsors. Emerson as well. Emerson. Christian Karimba did play for him though, didn't he? Have I got that right? Doubting myself again here. I'm sure Christian Karimba played for Borough. Definitely came to the Premier League, Karimba. Yeah, he did. Joined Borough from Real Madrid. He only spent 1 year at Middlesbrough, but he was at Real Madrid for 3 years, and he was incredible. Yes, Cellnet, my first mobile. Yori Djorkaeff, one of my favourites. Yeah, Yori Djorkaeff was incredible as well. Bolton's finest. Great player for Inter Milan as well. Right, got a free kick. We're underway for the second half, by the way. We've just got underway. So let me get the clock going. And we'll see. We'll see if we can get an equaliser or some sort of a comeback from Sheffield United. I'm not confident, I've got to be honest. Okay, timer is back underway. Woodgate, yes. Rohill, check online key. Rohill says Derby County had Puma. Yes, Puma. Coventry had Subaru, and they were beautiful kits. Remember the Coventry Subaru one? That was when they had Mustafa Hadji and Yusuf Chipo. First sort of Moroccans in the Premier League. Make a change. Is there any Liverpool fan still left in earth after yesterday's disgrace? I'm right here, mate. I always show up. Even after we've been humiliated, I always show up. CSPR key. What Liverpool player has played for the most amount of different Prem teams? Probably Anelka. I would guess Anelka. He's bounced around a little bit, hasn't he? Anelka's played for Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Bolton, West Brom. He's definitely played for 6. I don't know if he might have played for more, but I would imagine him. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's a goalkeeper in there though as well, like David James. How many did David James play for? David James played for Liverpool, Villa, West Ham, City, Portsmouth. Who else did David James play for in his bloody Premier League career? David James was everywhere. Usually goalkeepers bounce around a lot, don't they? I'm just trying to think about goalkeepers. West Ham, City, Portsmouth, Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth for a brief spell. So yeah, so we've had 2 there who's played for 6. David James and Nicholas Anelka. What are we saying? Sorry. Steve says, remember the Ravanelli hat-trick 3-all via Liverpool. That was his debut, that, wasn't it? The white feather. Shocking. User 23684 is thoughts on Everton this season if they can get Europe, mate. No, I don't think they can get Europe. I don't think any Everton fan really does think it. I mean, they're a good position to get it, but I don't think any Everton fan really believes you're going to get Europe. Same as Brentford fans and Sunderland fans, really. Like you're in sort of in the position, but I don't think anyone actually just enjoy the ride kind of thing. I don't think anyone actually thinks they're going to get Europe. Peter Crouch. I mean, Crouch was... He played for QPR, but I don't think he played in the Premier League. So Crouch would have been Villa, Burnley, Southampton, Liverpool, Portsmouth, Spurs, Stoke. So maybe, actually, that is it. That is it, isn't it? It is Peter Crouch. Villa, Burnley, Southampton, Liverpool, Portsmouth, Spurs and Stoke. It is. It's Peter Crouch, isn't it? You're right. Both tied on 7. Oh, Bellamy as well. I'd have never got that. That's a great question, that. It's a fabulous question. I like that. I'll remember that. Might jot it down. I'm going to use that one when you're not in next time. Got a question for you, lads. Got a question. It's right up here. Got it stored. Make myself look really good next time you're not in. How many's Milner had? Milner started at Leeds and then he went to... Did he go Newcastle or Villa? It was Newcastle first, wasn't it? Leeds, Newcastle, Villa, City, Liverpool, Brighton. That's it. Yeah, 6. 6 for Milner. I hate talking about Nicholas Anelka because it genuinely makes me feel really sad. Every time we mention Nicholas Anelka, I just get this like pang of, oh, we really needed to sign him. He was amazing for Liverpool. And we fucking gave El Hadj Diouf the number 9 shirt. We got rid of him and signed El Hadj Diouf based off 3 good games at a World Cup. And he was genuinely the worst signing I think we've ever made. Bang on, lads. It's crazy how he chose Diouf over him. That was Gerard Houlier's doing that because he had connections, if you remember, at Lens, where Diouf was at the time, Racing Club Lens. He had Patrice Bergs, who was like one of his guys, and he was like, "You've got to sign this player." He was incredible. And to be fair, Barcelona were interested in Diouf. They had a bid in and whatever, and United allegedly were in for him. And I don't think there's any doubt that he was a talented player. He was just a prick. And he's still, to this day, I think, the only Liverpool number 9 to go through a full season without scoring a goal. We had Iago Aspas, but even he scored a goal. Sparkled in the World Cup and we fell for it. Loads wanted him. Yeah, that's it. You're right, mate. Absolutely right. Where would we be if we'd have kept him? If we'd have kept Anelka and told you, on your bike, lad, you can go. Danny, what are you talking about? Oh, Steve, what about that waste man, Marcus Bent? He must have played for a few as well. The Gold says, accumulated transfer fee total ever. I think that is Anelka, isn't it? Are we talking Premier League? I don't know if we're talking outside Premier League. There's a fair few, isn't there? Like, probably Lukaku or Morata or someone like that. What a player Anelka was at Arsenal and Liverpool. Great later too, but electric at that age. Daniel Marlon Brace. Rohale says, Key, do you remember any of these Derby players? Paulo Wanchop, of course. Costa Rican. Scored the winner at Old Trafford. Remember that vividly. Dean Sturridge, yeah. Related to Daniel Sturridge, of course. Christian Daly. Fabulous Scottish centre-half. It wasn't Mark Poom. It was Mart Poom. And he was the first Estonian to play in the Premier League. And yeah, Rory Delap, of course. Long throw Rory. Joe says, do you remember Nico Williams and Harry Wilson? Of course, yeah. I think I went to Harry Wilson's debut for Liverpool. I don't know if he would have actually been in the same team. I don't know, actually. I don't think it was him. I'm thinking I'm getting him confused with Ben Woodburn. I saw Ben Woodburn score. I think he might even still be the youngest player. Is he the youngest player, or has Ingamoa overtaken him now? But he was at the time anyway. Ben Woodburn was the youngest player to ever score for Liverpool against Leeds in a Carabao Cup game, and I went to it with my dad. Bent has had 8 clubs. Benty. Not Migo says 2-0, have that, Sheffield. Even Mario scored in one season, yeah. Mario Balotelli, that was another one we shouldn't have signed. Bang on, lad, says Harry Kewell. I was excited about, disappointing, really, wasn't he? Injuries yet. Harry Kewell. To be honest, I kind of felt sorry for Harry Kewell, but he never really got a run of games without getting injured. He was like the original sick note for us, and I don't think it helped as well that there was always noise about him from like Julia, and later Benitez said the same thing as well, that Harry needs to be able to play through a little bit of pain for the club. Like, he always seems to have something. I don't know if it was Benitez or Julia who said that. Like, I think he was frustrated that he kept saying, I'm in pain. And he was like, well, you know, we'll give you the pain injection. Like, loads of players take pain injections to get through it. And he was like, no, I don't want to take one. And he was like, yeah, but the team needs you. And he was, yeah, well, no, I don't want to take one. Which is, you know, it's his right. It's his body in it at the end of the day. But I think that after that, it was always a little bit like Kuhl's not willing to put his body on the line for the team. Egyptonicus says, Key, can you give me the 5 most unbearable fan bases around the world in your opinion? No. Because I don't think there is such a thing that I couldn't quantify it. If I can't quantify it, if I can't give you an answer as to why I think that, I don't know. Like, an answer for me would be like United, Everton, Arsenal, Chelsea, maybe City to a degree now. But yeah, but that's because I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm sure plenty of others would say Liverpool. I'm sure plenty of others would say different. Like, Newcastle fans would probably say Sunderland are unbearable, and vice versa. So it's very much a personal thing, isn't it? I don't think you can say these are the worst fan bases in Europe, or the worst fan bases, whatever. Butter, strike, edge of the box, Morgan Whittaker, over the bar, nearly. Andy Cole, 7 clubs, 2. Yeah, Kingsloth, Owen Hargreaves took 2 pain injections in both knees when he was at United. Egyptonica says, I think number 1 is Reading fans because one of their fans looked at me funny last Friday. That feels like a reasonable reason to put them number 1. Yeah. Someone looked at you funny. Rat bags. Number 1, definitely. Brendan says, remember getting a Liverpool book with stickers and profiles that had me convinced that Pongol, Salif Diao and Latalek were going to make us the best team in the world. But do you know what? Can you remember the furore around Pongol and Latalek, by the way? Do you remember how excited everyone was about them? Like, oh my God, we've got these two unbelievable... It was basically like we were signing at the same time. Like, Lamine Yamal and... I don't know, Lamine Yamal and Keenan Yildiz all in one go. And everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe you've gone and got these players. And they were... I mean, you know, Pongol wasn't that bad. Pongol was all right. Latalek... Yeah, I don't know. Creed says, 5 most unbearable for me are United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Celtic, Rangers. Yeah, well, same to you as well. Preston fans. Never like Deep Dale Duck. Ro Hill says, Juve was a disgraceful player, not someone I'd ever want in my team. He was a disgraceful person, wasn't he? Let's call it how it is. The guy spat at people every 5 minutes and you know, threw coins and just didn't really ingratiate himself to the football world, I guess. But as a player, we've had worse players. If we're just talking about playing ability, we've definitely had worse players than Juve. Easily. At least just didn't have Bebe. I didn't think Bebe was that terrible. He went on to have an half-decent career as well, didn't he? I think it was just the fact that they signed him from the Homeless World Cup. Bishkan was funny, says Terry Alford. Bishkan was a very talented player. I remember watching Igor Bishkan in Deportivo. Not in Deportivo. Leverkusen. He absolutely ran the game. In fact, do you know what? The full year, that 2005 year, he was incredible for us. That Champions League run, Igor Bishkan was great. M15 says, how the table has turned, eh? Look at us now, top 5, finishing 16th last season. It's almost like the season's still only, you know, still got a third of the season to run. So I would enjoy it while you can. Certainly enjoy it while you can. Jabba says Suarez bit people, so he's a nominee. I don't know if Suarez is necessarily a bad person. I just think he's a fucking head case. I think he wants to win that badly. There's something not wired right upstairs with Suarez. Like, just an incredible player, but just wants to win that badly that he just does anything. The guy, did you see him the other week in the Inter Miami game? He spat at an old man. Was it a spit or a bite? I can't remember, spat or bit. Either or, really. Not that impressive either way. Some old guy on the pitch. And this is a guy who I'd still say to this day is like the best centre forward I've ever seen in the Premier League, but definitely tapped. Kingslaw says, who was the striker that Spurs had that began with P? He was terrible. Pavlyuchenko. What about Pavlyuchenko? AB, just a massive racist, not a bad person. But again, I don't even think he was a massive racist. Again, that feeds into his whole shtick about wanting to win the game. I mean, said whatever he could say to get under a player's skin, did whatever he needed to do, and just, I don't think it necessarily... I don't know Suarez. Maybe he is. Maybe he's a terrible human. I have no idea. All I'm saying is I think we can see there's a clear pattern of the guy just being not quite right upstairs. Biting, spitting, saying stupid things. He's not necessarily consistent with a fabulous player or a fabulous human being. CJ, Suarez was a scruff, but a good player. Yeah, Suarez was a scruff. Definitely. It's due to score or be booked is 1 to 100. Rowe Hill says, I don't think Suarez is a bad person. He was obsessed with winning. Anything goes for him. He hated losing. Definitely needs to see someone though, doesn't he? He's still carrying on, like I said, whatever it was the other week. It wasn't the other week, it was the other month, but either way, he's still doing it now, and he's playing in effectively like a pre-season friendly for Inter Miami, and I imagine he would do that in like a five-a-side as well. I mean, to be fair, Jamie Carragher said that as well. He came into training, didn't he? He was like chopping people's ankles and stuff like that. He just didn't give a monkeys. He was just straight in and kicking people up in the air and all sorts. How one win in the last 10. Do we think that gets him sacked? I don't think it does. Julius Hotspur, thoughts on the game? Since the second half has kicked off, again, it's been a lot of Middlesbrough control in the game. Sheffield United not quite being able to break them down. Sheffield United now have got the ball back here. Can they keep it for more than a couple of minutes? A couple of passes would be nice. A couple of passes would just sort them out. Creed says, what did the Borough goals look like, Key? I've not been watching the game. First one, Tommy Conway. Good pass into his feet. Takes it off to the side and passed it. Not passed it. He hit it, but it was like along the floor. And it was drilled across the keeper into the bottom corner. Keeper was full stretch. Really good goal. Just inside the penalty area. And then the second one was Hayden Hackney with a strike from the edge of the box. Keeper full stretch. Couldn't get to it. It kind of dipped just before the keeper. Bounced up off the post, and it was like up in the air, and McGree from midfield was running in, free header into an empty net, and a really good goal from a Borough perspective. And I don't know if they've killed the game off, but 2-0 is a commanding lead at this moment in time. King Sloth, who was the player you were surprised by seeing live? I mean, I don't know, mate. I don't really buy into that whole. I don't know what the way is. What would we say? I've seen them live, and they're completely different live. I don't think you see a huge amount more. You still see a lot, but I don't think you see a huge amount more than you would on the telly from going to watch a game, unless you're watching someone like off the ball. So like a Busquets, for example. There's very few players who really fall into that category, though. There's not that many. It's usually your midfielders, isn't it, I guess? But with other players, it does come down to duels, and they sort of come alive when the ball's near them. But there's not that many. Ibra, for me, he was massive compared to on TV. Yeah, Ibra. I mean, to be honest, I don't know about physical stature, I guess. To be fair, Nathan Ake. I met Nathan Ake in Southampton Airport, and he's tiny. He's absolutely tiny. I was like, how are you a centre-back in the Premier League? Emriel says, Porto versus Sporting suspended. Fans setting on fireworks and can't see the pitch. Crikey. That's no good. What do I think of Scott Twine? Very good player. Fabulous set-piece taker. Rohill, does anyone remember Liverpool defender Steve Finnan? He's never talked about. He's talked about a lot in my circles. I think he's a fantastic player. One of our best ever right backs, Steve Finnan. Went bankrupt, didn't he, not long after finishing his playing career? Wonder less what games are for tomorrow, Key. Just the one tomorrow, mate. West Ham against Manchester United. And then Liverpool Sunderland on Wednesday, and then Arsenal Brentford on Thursday, before Hull against Chelsea in the FA Cup on Friday night. Oh, into the box. Good defending from Borough. That's much better. Much better than now. Borough on the counter-attack with Tommy Conway. Oh, that's a really poor tackle. Should be a yellow card. I'm pretty confident it will be a yellow card for Brooks there. Silly tackle. Silly tackle. Kingslaw says knees on a hate watch tomorrow. Or keys on a hate watch. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about a hate watch for Arsenal, but there's always a hate watch for Man United on this channel. There's always a hate watch for United. Creed says, I saw Sterling live and he did go up in my estimations. Reggie, how's it going, Key? Good to see you, mate. How's things? Adam says, was Endrick harshly treated at Real Madrid? He's tearing up the French league with Lyon. No, I don't think so. I don't think Endrick's that good, to be honest. He's not a player that I think ends up sort of flying in his career. I don't think he's as good as Rodrigo or Mastantuono or any of them. Savage says, how did Coventry bottle that title race? Were they like 8 points ahead before? I think they were even more than 8 points, but they are currently second in the table. They've fallen behind Borough now. The only thing that's maybe saving Coventry is that they've got a better goal difference. And the good thing is we're doing Coventry against Middlesbrough in about a week or two's time. Is it Coventry Borough coming up in a week or two's time? Who are they playing? Let me have a look. Who's Borough's next fixture? Yeah, Coventry. We're doing Coventry on the 16th. A week today, actually. Next Monday, we're doing Coventry against Borough. I'm live for it. So, if you want to watch a bit of Coventry Borough, we'll be live for it next week. Reece says, I've always thought you watch the game much more analytically on the box, but being there is for the atmosphere, the memories, the belonging, the togetherness. Yes, I would agree with that. In the ground, it's much more visceral. It's much more, taking the atmosphere in. You'll feel the, hairs on the back of your neck, and you'll, the crowd and the energy and the songs and all that stuff, and you get really emotive and into it. When you're watching on the telly, you see 48 different camera angles and slow-mo replays, and it's hard to argue that you see more from one particular corner of the pitch. I mean, Christ, there's parts of Anfield, there's parts of the stadium, any stadium you go in really, if you're sat, you can't even see the other end of the pitch really. Reece says Hendrick is incredibly overrated, and Clarkey, I met Johnny Evans in the airport, he's down to earth, love that. Most players are, to be honest. A lot of them are. Brendan, you're in the right place if you want to hear about mid-noughties players like Finn and Honcho, Abel Javier. Yeah. Do you know what I might do? Maybe we could do like a new segment. A new segment that we always like start the live off with. This week, this live, or not even this week, this live is brought to you proudly by... I really should have thought of player before starting that, shouldn't I? This live is proudly sponsored by Bruno Cheroux. And then I could do like a, here's where they are now. After Liverpool, Bruno Cheroux went back to France, where he didn't become the next Zidane, as Gerard Houllier professed he would be. He ended up playing for Marseille, and then he ended up at... I think he was at Rennes for a little bit, wasn't he? And then he retired. But there's some mad ones. There's some really mad ones. Like you could do... This live is sponsored by Ariane Dazou. Ariane Dazou, former Barnsley centre-back and Portsmouth centre-back. He's now retired, working as a police detective in the Netherlands. Which is true. That's true. There's loads of cool stuff like that. When you look... Like Mathieu Flamini. Mathieu Flamini, everyone remembers from Arsenal, he's now like a pharmaceutical trillionaire. The guy's invented loads of, he's not invented, but he's employed people and invested his money well, and he's now like the global head of some like pharmaceutical conglomerate that might like solve cancer or whatever. Cure cancer. You don't solve cancer, do you? You cure cancer. King Sloth, Key, I haven't asked you, are you slot in or slot out? Slot in, mate, every day. Reece says, remember when Balotelli set off fireworks at his house? Yes. Rohale says, opinion on Dietmar Hamann. I had never really took to Dietmar Hamann. I thought as a player he was always very, very... He was a wonderful player. He was a very good player. But I never quite took to him. Yeah, I never quite took to Dietmar Hamann. De Kaiser. My favourite player in his first season was Alonso, then Torres, and Jabba says super Frank Lampard. Rohale Key, what was your opinion on Dietmar Hamann? Crumber Snatcher, sponsored by Florence Cinema Pongo, yeah. Kevin Phillips now on for Sheffield United. Reece says, this show is brought to you by Lucas Podolski, once a World Cup winner and now a kebab entrepreneur. Is he selling kebabs? Is he selling kebabs? Seriously? King Sloth, me and my mates egged Balotelli's camo Lambo in Manchester. Fucking hell, mate. Don't be saying that on a live. You get the fuzz after you. Get the busies. Mackenzie, what's the score? It's Sheffield United 0, Middlesbrough 2, 20 minutes left at Bramall Lane. It's all pointing to Borough going straight to the top of the Championship. Really important game for them and a really important win. Adam says, Key, can you name the star-studded Bolton Wanderers squad of 2003? Fucking hell, Adam. I'll have a go. 2003 Bolton squad. I would go Jaskalainen, Ricardo Gardner, had Campo gone there yet? And Hierro? I don't know if Campo and Hierro had gone there yet. Campo, Hierro. I'll just include them anyway, but I don't think they were necessarily. Left back for Bolton. McCann was there. I think McCann was there, but I don't think he played left back anyway. Mendy, I think, was there. Midfield now. Nolan. And Gotti. Was there. This is tough. I don't want to look at the chat just in case someone throws an answer at me, because I think I can get a fair few more than this. Midfielders who played for Bolton. Come on, Key. Sort yourself out. Mendy, Nolan and Gotti. Who played in midfield with Nolan? Stelios Giannakopoulos. Don't know if he'd have been there in 2003. Probably not. Stelios. Liverpool nearly signed him. Kevin Davis, obviously, up front. And then after that, I'm really struggling. Like, Jardel was there. There was a lot of players who, like, it was like passing, wasn't it, at Bolton? There was always players who were just coming and going. It's like a caravan site in the Premier League. Just people coming in for a bit and then going. Like, yeah, Mario Jardel was there for a bit, and Juve was there. Andranik Timorian. Chance! Oh, what a goal for Sheffield United! And it's back on. It's 2-1. It's Bamford. What a goal that is. What a pass that is, by the way. Do you know what? It's a great pass, this, and Bamford's first touch tells you everything that you need to know about the player. Really, really solid first touch, just like it was in the first half. It was Calvin Phillips with the assist. That could be a really, really important goal for Sheffield United's season. If Calvin Phillips, look at that pass. What a pass. Straight into feet from for Bamford. I think it was Hamer, actually. I don't think it was Phillips. It was Hamer into Bamford. Left foot with the control. Right foot past the keeper. No chance at all. And it's there. Not Eagles. Okocha, definitely, though. Yeah, Okocha would. I can't believe I didn't forget. JJ Okocha, I think that would have been the one people always talk about. That beautiful Bolton away kit, purple. Djorkaeff. Yeah, Djorkaeff should have been. Shell night, everyone. Take it easy, Shell. Yeah, Djorkaeff, of course. We've already talked about Djorkaeff. How did I not get him? I'm honestly zero ball knowledge. I'm gonna have to look in the mirror and say that to my face after this, because honestly, I've just gone through the Bolton 2003 squad. I was trying to go back to front, and I literally didn't even get Okocha and Djorkaeff. Absolutely laughable. Tony, how can it be Calvin Phillips to set it up if he took the free kick? I didn't see that he took the free kick. I just saw Bamford score, and then it immediately went to Calvin Phillips. It had him on. I was like, oh, was it Calvin Phillips who passed him the ball? I didn't know if it was Calvin Phillips who took the free kick, but I think it was Hamer. Hamer who scored it, or who got the assist, rather. Taribo West is now a pastor in Nigeria. Is he really? He was a great centre-back. In the box, Brooks, what a run that is. Strike! Oh, unlucky, and it's going to be a corner. Campbell with an absolutely fantastic strike, and Bryn with another big save. If Borough bottle this, I might have to jump. Don't be silly, mate. But that is an absolutely unbelievable effort there from Brooks. Breaks into the box, it breaks to Campbell, and a deflection takes it just wide. Nearly an equaliser there. Middlesbrough, all of a sudden, flick of a switch, and Borough are under pressure again. This is how quickly these things can turn. This is how quickly the game can turn. Good ball in from Harrison Burrows. Hung up to the far post, headed back in. Poor that. Cleared away. Solberg in masterclass today. He's done well, hasn't he? A couple of big saves from him. Brendan says, zero ball knowledge. Bet you don't even know how to do Travellas on FIFA or have the Neymar icon card. Didn't even know there was such a thing as a Neymar icon card. Ryan says, is it the Bolton Wanderers that Sam Allardyce managed? It is, yes. And Joe, our Leeds and Sheffield United, not rivals. So is it crazy that Phillips went there? Not really, no. I mean, Sheffield United's South Yorkshire, isn't it? Leeds is kind of like West Yorkshire way. It's you know, I mean, they're both Yorkshire, but I don't rivals probably not. I guess I don't know. Reese says this show is brought to you by Yaya Sanogo, now plays in the Brazilian second tier. Be a good laugh, wouldn't it? I don't know if actual sponsors would be happy with it, like. Actual sponsors might be a little bit miffed. They might be like, "Oh, okay, we're giving you a bit of cash to promote us here. You can't keep saying the show's sponsored by Yaya Sanogo. It's sponsored by us. We're paying you." Siddy, why are you airing my comments? Because you're just saying the same thing over and over again, mate. It's not that deep. I mean, if you want a bit of attention, I can give it to you. Like, if you need a bit of attention, we can talk. Like, it's all good. Just don't put the same comment in over and over and over again. Just a bit boring, mate. Just a bit boring. Adam, you got all the big names from Bolton. That's not bad, is it? Yeah, we did okay. Thought we did all right with that one. Dennis, hey, how are you? Good to see you, Dennis. Blake, you just keep saying the same thing. The thing is, Blake, listen, if he just keeps on, we'll just mute him, we'll just block him and he can go. It's not like a big thing. Hopefully he doesn't, though. Hopefully he just has a decent time like everyone else, like every other decent human being in the chat. And he's just sound. Dennis, what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Dennis. But I watch everyone on this channel. We're watching Sheffield United against Middlesbrough now. We watch Betis and Real Madrid. We watch Real Madrid Valencia on Sunday. We watch a bit of everything on this channel. We watch everyone. We're watching West Ham against Manchester United tomorrow. Watching Sunderland Liverpool on Wednesday. Brentford Arsenal on Thursday. And Hull against Chelsea in the FA Cup on Friday. So live football every single day on this channel. If you want to watch a game of football, if you like live watch-alongs, this is the channel that gives you more live watch-alongs than any other channel. And more variety as well. Sheffield United into the box. It's gathered in there by Solbrin. Blake says, big game for Borough this. If we bottle that, it could be the automatic gone. No, don't be saying things like that. Listen, one game doesn't define anything. Like, Borough are still in a really strong position, even if you were to lose this. Psychologically, it'd be a bit damaging, but you've come back from worse. But you're currently still in the lead, and it's like, Sheffield United have really, second half anyway, they've only had one chance. First half, they should have been in front maybe by 2 or 3. They were really good in the first half. That's a foul, ref. That's a foul. It is a foul. It is a foul. Aylin's not happy with it at all. We have Cov next, and we have the worst record against them. Well, we did the reverse fixture at the Riverside on this channel, and it's one of the best games I've seen that on this channel. It was really good game. And yeah, we'll be live for that next Monday as well. Coventry against Borough. Be interesting to see exactly how Borough are doing that one. Joe, have you seen the new Kasabian tune? Jesus Christ, they fell off. I loved Kasabian. I've not heard the new tune though. Coventry blew a 10-point lead. Shake my head. Andy, how's it going, Andy? Good to see you. Rohale says, what's the lowest ranked ex-Premier League team? Probably Swindon, I would imagine. Or not Oldham. Oldham. Oh no, Oldham are in this. Yeah, Oldham or Swindon. League 2. Don't think there's any in the National League, is there? Oldham or Swindon are both League 2, though. This is a good match, says Ryan. Adam says, why is the Brentford game on Thursday? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just something to do with TV scheduling. Tackle there from Rothwell. That might be a yellow card. I think it probably should be a yellow card. It was a bit naughty, that. Blake, I was sat there on the edge of my seat against Coventry full second half. I'm not surprised. He played quite well in that game. Scoreline didn't necessarily reflect the performance. Cornell, what is your Premier League team of the season so far? We did this on an earlier live. Go on, I'll try and go through it again. Let me see if I can find it. Premier League team of the season so far. Team of the season so far. There you go. I had Riffs in goal. Riley, Gabriel, Konza and Timber. Rodgers, Xhaka, Caicedo, Semenyo, Haaland and Thiago up front. There you go. Blake says, yeah, if Tommy Conway scores that chance, it's a different game. Yeah. Some really high quality goals though from both teams, right? Joe says, would every watch more than one game at the same time? Would I ever watch more than one game at the same time? No. Brendan says, I'm desperate for the West Ham win tomorrow. I have a sizable bet on with a friend that United won't finish top 6, put in a different, happier time. It's not looking good now. Oh, don't be silly. Yeah, don't be silly. United aren't going to finish. Well, they might finish top 6. I don't know about top 5 though yet. Still think Liverpool and Chelsea finishing above them. I'm not sure about Villa. Villa's the only one I'm a little bit of question on. Did he send him off for that? Did he actually get sent off for that? I never thought he got sent off. Sorry, that's the worst. I missed it. I thought it was just a yellow card. Red card. Jesus. Proper American football tackle. It was, but I didn't think it was a red. He definitely took him out, but I didn't think it was a red card. Never a red that. Yeah. Never a red that. There you go. I agree. Even the Borough fans saying it's never a red. I didn't think that was a red. Soft. Ben says worthy red, to be fair. See, there you go. Isn't that the difference, right? I didn't think it was a red. The Borough fan didn't think it was a red, but you do think it's a red. Isn't that just a typical example of how difficult these referees have it? I honestly, I think we need to give our referees, and referees are milk monitors. They're the prefects in school, aren't they? The, teacher's pet, last picked in PE and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they've got a really, really difficult job, and I wouldn't want to do it. So I think we need to empower them. We've got to give them more flexibility, more ability to make the right decisions, rather than being on the case and just going down this route. More and more, it feels like we're going down like an AI route. Like, people want football rules to be very binary and black and white, and it's not. There's some rules, like, we know, for example, don't we? We know that offside is binary. Offside is black and white. You're either onside or you're offside. Sometimes it's yards, sometimes it's inches, but if you're offside, you're offside. Get it? Offsides are very rarely. Maybe not very rarely. Sometimes they still get argued over. But generally speaking, if you're offside, it's like, all right, yeah, fair enough, it's offside. Yeah, most of the time. But then there's loads of stuff like handballs and like shirt pulling, right? So a shirt pull doesn't automatically equal a foul, does it? Because then it's like, well, how long was he pulling his shirt? Was it enough to prevent him getting to the ball? Was it for long enough? If it's a handball, we don't just... Plenty of handballs where the ball hits the hand and it's not a penalty or it's not a free kick. Like, when a handball gets given, we think about things like body shape. Was it outside of the silhouette? Was it intentional? How far was it from the actual shot? Was it a goal-bound shot? All these things the referee has to process in like seconds. I think referees have such a hard time, honestly. Cornell says this is why VAR is good. Sheffield United in the box. Oh, it's gone behind for the corner. Royal says, I'm thinking of an all-time underrated Premier League team. I'd put Ida Johnson in there and Gianluca Vialli. Vialli? In an underrated Premier League team? No, I don't think so. He was a very good player at Serie A, but not in the Prem, really. Brendan says, yeah, they might finish top 6. Joke of a season. Newcastle need to get their act together. Silhouette, yeah, outside your natural silhouette of your body. That's what it. If your hands were here, like, and you blocked it, it was like, oh, well, it's self-defense or whatever. But if it's out here, then it's handball. It's outside the silhouette. NR says, bit ironic to say refs have a hard job, but gave Pawson absolute shit last night. Listen, and to be fair, I've said that today, that you react emotionally when you're watching a game, and maybe last night I reacted unfavourably. Craig Pawson is still not the best ref, but I think I would say referees, forget speaking about Craig Pawson in particular, but I think referees in general, get a very, very hard rap, and they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. So, yeah, Craig Pawson makes a lot of bad decisions. Referees generally make a lot of bad decisions, and they get stick in the moment from fans who react emotionally. I reacted maybe unfavourably last night, but I would say that is the responsibility of the PGMOL. It's not the fault of, not me reacting, but the responsibility of the PGMOL to give the referees less guidance, I would say. I would give them less guidance. Don't give them more rules. Give them less guidance. Give them the ability to go and make the right decisions subjectively. Or get rid of referees full stop. Hire ex-footballers. Hire ex-footballers. That would be my thing anyway. Mark Wright, he deserved the red card. What in this game? Are we talking about in this game? Which game are you talking about, Mark? Gamer Guru, how's the game going? It's all right, yeah. It's we got 4 minutes left to go. Sheffield United down to 10. And Sheffield United 1, Middlesbrough 2. It's maybe I think it would have been a bit closer if the red card hadn't been given. But yeah, we've just had a red card for Sheffield United. Mark Wright, the Liverpool one. The Liverpool one probably was a red card. Yeah. To the letter of the law, it was, but I don't think anyone wants it to be. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anyone wants it to be a red card. Like, forget the teams involved, forget whoever you are tribally. Like, everyone would have much rather that. And I think Liverpool fans would have, City fans would have. But even if it's not Liverpool and City, if that's, Oxford against Bristol, you'd look at that and go, just give the goal, ref. Like, what are you doing? Just give the goal. Nobody gains at all from sending that player off. Like, it's, and to be fair, it was a bit 6 of one, half a dozen of the other anyway. Szoboszlai pulled him back, and then Haaland dragged him down as well. So, I don't know. The goal, the third goal, whether it was given or not, and the red card was kind of inconsequential anyway. It was the penalty for me. I don't want that to be a penalty. I don't think that should have been a penalty at all. I don't think Pawson was that bad yesterday, to be fair. The final decision was VAR bringing in the rule book. I think Pawson was happy to use common sense. But that's what I mean. I think, well, there we go. I agree. He has been told, you have to stick by, these are the rules, right? And you have to be playing by these rules. You've got to use these rules. That's it. Don't go outside of this rule book. And because they get so much stick, it's probably no surprise that they just stick to what they're told. And really, you want referees to know the game and respond accordingly and use the brain a little bit. Like, how many times do you see a player getting, a defender running into his own corner flag and he feels a bit of a nudge from behind and they go down like that, they fly down and they hold the ball. And you're like, what? He's not even touched you, but it's the same thing every single week. It's the same foul. Any defender who's under pressure, running back towards his own goal, goes into the corner, falls on the ball. If that's, like I said, we said this the other day, but if it's not a referee that's never played the game before, let's say, and you was to put someone neutral in the middle, in that black referee's uniform, if you was to put Mark Noble, a recently retired ex-footballer, he would go, I know what you're doing, lad. I know what you're doing. I get it. That's not a foul. Play on. Play on. Mark says, because they're neutral, they were both pulling each other, or should just say it was coming together. Well, yeah, it was a coming together. I played on. If the referee goes like that, the ball's going in the net anyway, isn't he? Mark says, I thought Alisson was a bit reckless the way he lunged. That is fair. That is fair. Alisson gave the referee a decision to make. But I don't think that's a penalty. I don't think that's a penalty. Nobody at all gained from Alisson. Alisson took the player out. He absolutely took the player out, but the ball was basically out. It's the same one as the Leeds one. I only feel like you should be giving penalties when it's such, like, think how important these games are. Think how important these decisions are. And a penalty in the final minute of the game, you're going to give it for something like that where there's nobody who's gained an advantage from it. It's not like he's pulled him back. Like the Mark Gay one on Salah. Salah's running through on goal, drags him back. Penalty for that all day, every day. Forget the names. Forget it's Salah and Gay. I'd say the same if it was in Bramall getting fouled by whoever, right? But a player running through on goal, if it's a cynical drag back, fine. Yeah, no problem. If they've gone in to try and win the ball, and the ball is there to be won, and they have stopped a deliberate attack, then absolutely penalty. But the ball was basically out. It's exactly the same as the Nonto one with Leeds. Exactly the same with the Nonto one. The Nonto one shouldn't have been a penalty. That one shouldn't have been a penalty either. What about the double jeopardy rule? I know that's penalties, but couldn't the goal be given applying the same logic? Well, you would have thought so. I mean, I don't know. They change the rules every other year, don't they? There's always a different, slight variation every other year. They change it, so maybe the double jeopardy rule has altered or been amended ever so slightly. Jabba, I'm convinced half-time the VAR is out to the pub and the other half, the rest went to be the main character. In the penalty area, claim for a foul. You're not getting one for that. There's 5 minutes of added on time. We've already had 1 minute. Sheffield United, can they do something to get back into this game? Bruno Fernandes does it. Oh, diving in the corner. Yeah, no. Bruno Fernandes definitely does. Rohale says, what I don't like are the repercussions for players and managers speaking out against referees. Should rest protected from even the slightest criticism. I mean, to a degree, yes. To a degree, yeah. I think having criticism of referees, like, I find it really difficult because I agree with a lot of what everyone says in terms of it's inconsistent and it's frustrating. It's mega frustrating. But I am amongst the biggest supporters of referees. And I have no reason to be. I've not got like a referee in my family or anything. I just think it's an incredibly hard job that days later we can all be looking at the exact same thing with the benefit of, you know, emotion taken out of it. We don't have to make it in a snap decision. We can look at it for hours. We can look at 40 different replays, different angles, slow motion, full speed. We can look at it and we still disagree on whether it was a red card or a yellow card or a penalty or not a penalty, or a handball or not a handball. But these lads have to make the decision like that, and they are held gun to their head for getting it wrong sometimes. And it's mega frustrating, but I don't know what the answer is, other than we all need to amend our expectations. We need to be a lot more realistic. And do you know what? It might take, I hate to say this, but it might take something ridiculous, like a referee doing something stupid. And I mean, seriously. Because it's heading that way, the abuse of officials. It might take the referee doing something like that, and everyone looks at it and goes, what the fucking hell, we need to do something. We need to do something here, because the abuse they get is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Graham, keepers up. Yep, keepers up here. They're both in the same kit, referee. Both in the same kit. How's that been allowed to happen? I always thought keepers had to wear different. Oh, just wide, unlucky. Got a minute left to go. It was Tanganga at the back post there. Jabber says, ref doing something worse than Coots. No, I don't think I wasn't really thinking along them lines. No. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. I pray it never happens, but it really isn't beyond the realms of possibility when you think about the abuse they take day in, day out, and the stick they get, and they don't really get an awful lot of support. And I genuinely think there needs to be more, because honestly, there's not even like a load of referees coming through. We're running out of referees. We are genuinely running out of top quality referees. What has happened there? What's going on here? Chris Wilder saying push on. There's only 15 seconds left. Never says it should have been common sense, but then imagine being a Sunderland fan and Sobbers like gets the players he weren't sent off due to not applying the rule book, and he scores a winner. Sort of a lose-lose. Yeah, I mean, it depends how pernickety you want to be. Everyone can have a listen. If we all take the attitude of, like, well, look at what they've got over that for me just doesn't work. You've got to look at it and apply common sense. And what's the most common sense, outcome from last night was. And honestly, if I'm a Sunderland fan, I don't want that actually. I don't. I know you might think, well, oh yeah, he's a top player for Liverpool, and he's someone who should be suspended or whatever. You want to play 11v11, and you want to play the best 11 you can. You don't imagine a world where all it was is Premier League, all the best players got suspended and whatever. You want the best players on the pitch. You want to play against the best players. I don't think them Sunderland players will want not Dominic Szoboszlai on the pitch. Maybe the fans will, maybe the manager will, but... Andy says, according to Football Insider, Newcastle are keen on re-signing Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson. He's not going Newcastle. Mark Wright says, what I think is that a manager should be allowed freedom of speech. Well, yeah, and they can. They can have freedom of speech. Player and manager should have freedom of speech to a content. And Brendan says, referees do need to be protected, but also need to be accountable. Tough one. Maybe incorporating some ex-players, managers into the referee performance review process to give a different perspective. It's full time here at Bramall Lane, and what an unbelievable performance, unbelievable result for Borough, more importantly. Sheffield United came back into it at the end. I don't necessarily think it was a red card, but either way, red card or not, Sheffield United have gone down here 2-1. They are now, we've got the table coming up here on the right-hand side in just a moment, but the table now does not paint a pretty picture, it has to be said, for Sheffield United. Rothwell sent off. How long was it after he came on as well, Rothwell? Well, it was just after half-time he came on, wasn't it? I thought he came on a bit later than that. But yeah, Rothwell sent off the substitute. Middlesbrough now top 2 points clear of Coventry and a whopping 7 points clear of Ipswich and Hull in third and fourth. Obviously, Ipswich have got a game in hand. Ipswich don't play the game in hand because they're playing Wrexham in the Cup this weekend. But Ipswich could narrow that gap to 4 points. Ipswich, I do think, they're a team that I think absolutely could chase down Coventry and Borough at the top. I think they're going to make it very difficult. I do expect Ipswich to come back up under Kieran McKenna. They are 1 defeat in 9. Is it? I think it's 7 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat in their last 9 games, Ipswich. So they are on absolute fire. For Borough, listen, Borough, this is the 6th win in a row now in the Championship, home and away, but 6 wins in a row. They're flying. Riley McGree is player of the match. He scored the winner tonight. But for Sheffield United, this now leaves them, 8 points off the playoff places, 8 points behind Wrexham and Preston in and around those playoff places, and just 7 points off Blackburn and Leicester at the foot of the table around the relegation zone. So I did say this was a pivotal game. I did think I did think Sheffield United would have to get something tonight, a draw, maybe a win, just to pull them away if they had ambitions of chasing down those playoff places. But while 8 points isn't insurmountable, it does feel like quite a big gap. And Wrexham, Preston, Bristol City, Derby, Birmingham, Watford, QPR, even Stoke, Southampton, only separated by just 4 points. You could even include Swansea in that 5 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams separated by just 5 points and only 1 playoff place available. Because above Wrexham, you've got Millwall, who are 6 points ahead of them. It's just a fascinating race in the Championship this year. Not just the automatic spots, not just the playoff spots, but even the relegation zone as well. If you look down at the relegation zone, you've got Blackburn, Oxford, Leicester, West Brom, Portsmouth. Never thought we'd see West Brom down there. Can Eric Ramsey turn it round at the Hawthorns? But there's just so much to talk about in the Championship. The relegation places, the playoff places, the automatic spot. Who's actually going to win the Championship this year? It's great to see. And as well, I will just say, League One, League Two, and the National League are all very much like this as well. If you look at those tables, you'll see they're all very condensed in the key positions. And during the next international break, as you know, we watch a live game of football every single day on this channel. During the next international break, we're going to be watching a bit of League Two and a bit of National League to cover us during that international break hiatus. It's only for about a week and a half. I think it's a week and a half that there's no football. Top flight, Champions League, Premier League, all that stuff. It stops for a week and a half. And during that week and a half, when everybody else, all the other big Watchalong fan channels, they all go and go on their holidays or whatever, or start pumping out rage bait stuff for the summer. I can't believe he's signed for them or whatever. Yeah, we'll be watching football. That's what we do on here. We watch football and we talk football and we sponsor the show by random Premier League 90s players. Lots of love. Have a lovely, lovely Monday night, whatever you're doing. Hopefully work, college, school, whatever you're doing this week is not too taxing. I hope life's good for you and your family. Health's good, all that good stuff. And I'll be back tomorrow night. Back tomorrow night, where hopefully that fella won't be shaving his head anytime soon. Hopefully he will be keeping his barnet. So we'll have to see. Let's see. Have a lovely night, mate. Take it easy, and I'll see you all soon. Ta-ra.